Hello guys, Srini here. Uh, I have built something exciting. So it's a video game coach for a game called Dota 2, which I can't wait to show you guys. But before that, let me uh, explain to you some of the concepts that I've used going into the application. The coach itself is going to be an LLM application accessing some open source data from a website named Open Dota, which provides and endorses some APIs that you can call to uh, retrieve some data from some of your games, some of your recent games, and also the related statistics. Let's say you have a win rate on a certain hero, you can call a certain API from Open Dota, and it would give you all of that statistics. So um, let me explain to you what I've created. So what I've created is an MCP server. An MCP, as you can see, stands for Model Context Protocol. And what the Model Context Protocol is it's a bridge between your LLM and your uh, data source. Your data source could be anything. It could be a local database. It could be an external website. It can be a application just scraping something off the web and serving it to you in a format that you want. It could be a vector database if you want to build a RAG application. So what I've built is an MCP server to call the Open Dota API in order to retrieve the data that I want for my LLM application, which is a coaching app. And this coaching app would tell you, you can ask it just general questions. You can ask it for intel about some of the players that you're playing against, and it would give you very specific statistics about that player. Uh, and You can tailor your game to counter that player, or if it's a teammate, you can find a way to play the game along with them. And it also gives you it gives you a bunch of intel to you guys who do not know what Dota 2 is. It's a video game developed by Valve, which is the video game distribution service. And Valve is the uh, software, it's the video game developer part of Steam, which is a distribution service. It was released in like 2013. I've been playing it for about I think 10 years now. I haven't really I haven't played it much for the past 3 years, but I did download it maybe 3 months back, and I played it for I think a couple of days, and then I uninstalled it again because I couldn't really commit enough time to it, because I've committed most of my free time, my leisure time, to playing basketball at the moment. Um, However, I did visit a gaming cafe, I think 4 days back, and that is what inspired me to create this application. Um, I did find a few people who were beginners at the game, right? So uh, that gave me an idea I could create something, and it was also something that I hadn't done in a long time. Playing the game, it brought back memories. It was something that I really enjoyed doing, and I wanted to give back to the community. So That's one reason that I've built this. Um, so let's get back into MCP, or Model Context Protocol. So how this works is the AI host over here, which would be either it would be the host of the LLM. It would be Anthropic Claude. It could be OpenAI. It could be any open source, let's say Llama. It could be any LLM, which is the AI host. And this AI host would use an MCP client, as you can see here. The MCP client is responsible for establishing one-to-one connections to an MCP server, and the MCP server holds all of the logic in order to hold the connection stable and also retrieve information from a data source in a format that the LLM would want. So the MCP protocol, it is built, the protocol itself is built on JSON RPC format, and it is essentially a bunch of logic saying that the um, MCP server connection has to be stateful. It has to be stateful. So both the um, AI MCP client and the um, data source, the tool that is actually providing the data to the MCP server, which can be accessed uh, through the API, would hold information, would be holding information regarding the session state. So um, a certain session state would be valid for the period of how long the AI host is connected to the data source. So for this duration, both the AI host and the data source would be holding context. So they would have some data regarding to what questions were asked and what answers were given from the data source. So that's how the MCP server works. And the MCP server also holds um, the prompts. It also holds the logic as to how um, a certain question asked by the user um, would translate to the MCP client using a certain tool. So if I was to ask for, um, let me give you an example. So if I was working at a hospital and I had to ask for my um, data. Okay, let's say I was a doctor and I wanted to ask for patient data, right? I would just ask it, give me all the information that you have regarding Mr. X, and for it to understand what to do, it has to do a bunch of steps, right? It has to first connect to the database. It has to connect to the database and then ask it for all of the information regarding that patient X, uh, patient Mr. X. And in order to do that, it would have to understand which tool to use. The database has a tool saying slash patients, in that let's say it endorses data in a JSON format. It's a REST API which provides a slash patients resource, and if you wanted to ask the database for Mr. X, you would simply give it a natural language query saying, give me all the data regarding patient X. And it has to translate that to be able to use a tool on the backend, which the data source provides. So that information, that logic is also part of the MCP server implementation. And it was something. So in this context, in the context of the Dota 2 coach application that I've created, it is also the MCP server that holds the logic regarding how to translate a certain query to using a tool on the backend. Under the hood, an MCP client would typically an MCP client would hold a one is to one connection, and it's a two-way channel between the MCP client and the MCP server. How this works is it would be a slash post. One of the channels would be a HTTP channel. Both of the channels would be would be HTTP channels. One would hold um, uh, one would hold all the requests, so they would all be slash post requests, and the returning channel would also be a HTTP channel, which um, would have it would be asynchronous, so it would use server-side events. Um, so whenever the data source is ready to send over some data that you've asked, it would send it over, and this would go through the other channel. So that's how under the hood this client host server architecture works. So the host is the LLM in this case. The client is a session that the LLM holds with a data source, which is essentially called the server. It's called the MCP server. So what we want to do over here is we want to get data from the Open Dota API. The Open Dota API would be the um, if you can see my pointer here, it would be the data source, and it would have a bunch of tools. It would have so the Open Dota API is looks like this. It has get matches ID, which means that you could get the get a certain match using a match ID, and all the statistics of that match would be returned to you in a JSON format. So this is uh, pretty useful. I mean, it's pretty ideal because the JSON format is what the MCP protocol is also based on. So once it returns all of this information, it would go into the MCP server, and the MCP server would hold a context as to what question was asked and what information was provided for this question. There's a bunch of uh, endpoints that you can call. There's players data, there's pro players, there's heroes. This is one endpoint that I've used quite extensively. So you can also it's about the API, the Open Dota API. If that's something that you're interested in, I've, I can include the link to the same in case I'm making a YouTube video. I can put it over there, or if it I'm posting it elsewhere, I'll make sure to include all of the links that I've used going into the project. So um, yeah, so that's how the entire thing was. Um, the MCP service architecture uh, is constructed, and I want to go into the demo at the moment. Uh, yeah, so um, let's get into the demo. So it's as I said, it's a Dota 2 coach, right? So um, um, it's essentially an application. You can I'll be also posting the link to the GitHub repository on any videos that I make. Um, so um, if you want to set the application up on your end, um, I can go over that. I would be going over that right now. And if you do not want to set it up, you just want to see it working, then you could just skip this section of the video. Um, so how you get it working, how you set it up. Let me make this quick. The way you set it up is actually pretty quick by itself. So um, the requirements for this is you need to have Node.js 18 or more installed on your laptop or whichever device that you want the application to work on. And you also, as part of this specific MCP server, I've integrated it with the Cloud desktop client. So for this particular demo, you would need to have the Cloud desktop application installed, which also would be pointed to in the video description. So I'll be posting the link for that as well. And stable internet connection for API access. You need to be able to access the OpenDota API from your local system over an internet connection. So yeah, and the installation process itself is super quick. All you need to do is clone this repository, which you can do by clicking the code over here and copying this URL and going to um, going to a code editor of your choice, just doing git clone and pasting that one thing. Um, or just pasting the entire thing and hitting enter. So for my personal laptop right now, it already has the repository and it has the build also. So I'm not doing that right now, but I'm just going over the steps so it's easier for you guys. So you then cd into the server, which I've already done at the moment. So I'm in the working directory, and then you just type npm run build, and this should what it should do is create a whole new directory. So this directory would be called dist, and it should have the contents that are shown over here. And then so as for the MCP server, it's already been set up. If you want to use another LLM, so right now I've been using Claude Desktop because Anthropic is the one that developed this MCP protocol, and Claude Desktop has native support for this MCP protocol. So it's easier to integrate any MCP servers with Claude Desktop. So I'm using Claude Desktop at the moment, but in case you guys want to use OpenAI, OpenAI also has native support for MCP servers. So you guys could use an LLM of your choice. If you guys already have some flavors set up on the LLM of your choice, then you could go ahead and use that. What if you're using Claude Desktop, though, the next step would be to go to the Claude Desktops folder on Windows. This is the folder, and on Mac OS, this is the folder. So you just go into the folder and create a new file, and then paste this part in. So the args field over here has to be the path to your index.js file. So when we switch back here, the dist folder that was created has an index.js file, and the index.js file has to be so you just right click on it, and then you copy the path and paste it over here. That would be the argument going into this field, and then and then that's about it. All you have to do is now activate it by opening up Claude Desktop. So um, another thing that MCP servers do is that they have a uh, handshake kind of thing with the data source. So the MCP server would ask the data source, "Hey, what open tools do you have?" So I can actually just ask Claude Desktop the same thing. Um, what tools do you have available? And typically it would have just two tools. Two tools are inherently part of the uh, Claude Desktop configuration, which is the analysis tool and the artifact system. Um, it can also they've added a third tool as well, which is file processing. And since I've set up the tool by running npm build and uh, pasting this, creating a new file with this content inside my Claude directory already, all I have to do is check my tools, and you can see that this server, this Dota2 MCP server has been integrated already, and it has 11 tools as part of it. And these are the tools that are part of it. So you can now ask it any question that you want. So anything that you're curious about Dota 2, let me ask it to very complex queries. So let's say I'm playing as a certain hero, and um, let's start from the draft phase actually. So in Dota 2, if you guys aren't familiar with the game, um, one phase of the game is the draft phase. So it's when you choose which character you want to play as. So as I said, Dota 2 is a 5v5 game. So it's a 5 player versus 5 player game where you're grouped with a group of 4 players, um, and you're trying to defeat the opponents, which is again a group of 5 players. So you guys can, so you are responsible for controlling a singular character, a fictional character that has multiple abilities. It has multiple. Um, you can buy items. You can buy multiple items that would strengthen your character. You can it's a strategy game, right? So there's a whole load of things that go into strategizing against your opponent and getting the edge and defeating them. So let me ask Claude a query that would, uh, you know, actually demonstrate the amount of complexity that the Dota 2 application, the coach application, possesses. So I'm going to be asking it a query saying, so before that, let me go ahead. So one thing, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be asking the Dota 2 coach application, um, hey, I'm playing this certain hero. I'm playing Bounty Hunter, okay? Hi, I am playing Bounty Hunter, uh, and my lane partner is okay. I don't want to give it my lane partner. I'm playing Bounty Hunter. What do you think my teammate should pick uh, for a good synergy in my laning phase? So what it does right now is this certain tool. Um, so it's asking me if Claude can use this certain tool, which is Dota 2 MCP server, right? So this is one more thing that MCP servers are useful for. So they're useful for access control. So if you want to only give a certain tool access to your environment, you can decide which tools you want to connect to which databases. Earlier, when it's only native tools and not MCP servers, which was the earlier implementation or the earlier stage of evolution of MCP servers, what would happen is you would run into a logical difficulty where you would have uh, have one specific connector for each of your tools with each of your data sources, right? So it runs into an M into N connector problem where you would have to give if you had M tools and N data sources, you have to create M into N connectors, which is crazy. It takes a lot of development time. So one thing that this MCP server solves is that it has one client. It has an MCP client, which is a unified and standard. It's an open source standard format for your MCP client in order to establish a connection with your MCP server, which is your data source. So another thing is security and access control. If you do not want to give your MCP server this access, in order to ask for the question that the user has asked, and also provide the information from the API server, then you can control that over here. So over here I'm just saying allow always, because I trust this tool. I wanted to access any amount of data that's being sent from the MCP server, and also the context that the MCP server holds with respect to the questions that are asked and the um, answers that are provided. I had mentioned earlier that it would hold this certain context. It would hold a session context, which would be valid for the duration of the session, right? So that's one thing that this MCP server holds. I'm saying that uh, I'm allowing it to hold the context, and the power is all with the user to decide which tools get um, access to which API servers. I can configure that over here. I can switch off the tools that I want to disable, and also not give it access, saying decline access. So right now it has used two tools. It has used get heroes, which would be responsible for getting all of the heroes that are there in the game currently, and bounty hunter is one such hero. So I want to ask whether I want to ask which heroes would be a good laning partner for me. A lane is a well, let's not go into too much of detail. Get heroes and suggest draft picks. So there's two tools which it has used in order to give me the information that I've asked for. And Bounty Hunter in the current meta is a good laning partner with Crystal Maiden. It's a good laning partner with Bane and Earthshaker. And strong core synergies. Okay, it's giving me a two-part answer. So if I'm playing Bounty Hunter as a core hero, then it gives me a good support hero to pair with, and it gives me reasoning as to why that hero would be a good pairing. And also, if I had to play Bounty Hunter as a support, then which heroes would be good to work with? So that's one question. So um, that is so this is one question that I want to ask during the draft phase. So I want to ask it, what could my hero pick? What should my hero pick for good synergy? Okay, so one more thing, one other complex query that so the coach application can do multiple complex queries. One other complex query that it is capable of is getting intel about a certain player. So let's say I wanted to ask it for information about a certain player, as in, let's say it's one of my friends, right? This person is a good friend of mine, and his Steam ID is, as you can see, Nika Nefi. So I'm going to be asking it, my opponent is uh, with my opponent with Steam name Nika Nefi is uh, playing his playing let's just check what are his good heroes, or I can just ask the application what his good heroes are. Nika, I have an opponent with Steam name Nika Nefi, and I want to know which heroes he is good at, so that I can ban them during the draft phase. So it calls another tool over here, which is search underscore player, and also gets the player heroes. So let's see what it returns. Okay, based on the analysis, Nika Nefi, my friend, I know that he's a pretty good axe player. Um, I have opened up Dota Buff. Let's search for Nika Nefi here. So this would show me all of the statistics that that particular player has on every hero. So this is the same person, and as you can see, his axe win rate is 63.66, and it accurately tells me that one of the heroes that I must ban in order to be successful in this game is Axe. And he also picks Phantom Assassin a lot with 62% win rate. Um, and this is only during the what you see over here is different game modes. Uh, so uh, I think this is showing me only for ranked games. So it's also giving me reasoning as to why I should be banning this certain hero. Um, so okay, let's say the draft phase is done and I've banned Axe. I've banned his best hero, which is Axe. Okay, or let's say I haven't banned Axe and he has picked Axe. Uh, the ban did not work. Nika Nefi has picked Axe. Um, please give me um, um, a way to counter him in the laning stage. I also want to analyze his uh, playing patterns and find the right ways to counter him. I also want to itemize well against this player. Um, um, Please also analyze his last 20 games with Axe in order to give me information about the same. So this is quite a complex query. It would probably be using a bunch of tools, maybe 3 or 4 tools, in order to give me this information. Um, let's wait for what it says. So this is another tool that it wants to use. I'm going to be saying hello always because I'm the developer. I trust my tool completely. I am not concerned about the security aspects of letting the Cloud desktop application use my tool that I've created. It's a pretty simple tool. It should not have any or any major security concerns. So it's going ahead using a bunch of tools, one, two, three, four, five tools. It has used 5 tools that I've coded in order to get me a counter strategy for playing against Nika Nefi, who's my close friend. He is a good axe player. I want to know how to beat him when he's playing axe, right? So this is what I've asked. There's also many other queries that you can go ahead and try on your own. You can also let me know if you want a certain capability to be added into this MCP server. I would be happy to collaborate. And if you guys have any ideas, if you guys want to collaborate and contribute to building the server, I would be open to that too. Um, and but let's see what the uh, application has recommended for me. So it says player pattern weakness. He has a high death count. He's aggressive but poor positioning. That's surprising. Team coordination dependent. He's much stronger in party. Okay, all of these are okay. And axe hero counters. So um, his so the hero that he has picked, axe, is weak against enchantress, warlock, and row ranger. Um, and a laning stage counter strategy. It gives me some laning stuff. Um, and it gives me ways to counter him during early game, mid game, and late game. So it also gives me gameplay strategy for every part of the game in detail. Um, it also gives me a counter build against the axe. Um, but I wanted to give me specific information. Uh, if I am playing Bounty Hunter and my laning stage partner uh, is a queen of pain, and Nika Nefi is playing axe, and his laning partner um, is an ogre. Let's give it completely new things. Maybe I'm getting this information because Bounty Hunter is not a good uh, uh, counter to axe, right? So what I'm going to be trying is I'm going to be saying I'm playing Drow Ranger, or I'm playing yeah, Drow Ranger should be good, and my laning partner is Vengeful Spirit. If he's playing axe, his partner is uh, Pugna. Um, please analyze his last 20 games to find out his itemization timings and find me a counter strategy based on his gameplay pattern, and tell me what items to build and how I should be playing at each interval in time. And the tool is also pretty intelligent. It could also do very detailed analysis. It can analyze the meta. It can find out heroes which are currently very strong. It can find out what items are being used in pro games and um, suggest the same items to you. And it can also find counter strategies like how I've asked it for right now. So uh, so the response that I got is this. So it has created a pretty comprehensive strategy to win the lane against Nika Nefi's axe. Um, this is very player specific. As in, the query that I asked is pretty player specific. You can ask it. You can give it multiple heroes. You can give it all the five heroes that you have in your party versus all the five heroes that are there in the opponent's party. and ask how your team can strategize to win against the other team at um, a pretty overall level, rather than asking it how I can beat this player, because Dota 2 is a team based game, right? So what the application has recommended, so it looked at the previous 20 games, and it looked at his previous axe games. It gives me all the previous wins and losses as axe. So Nika Nefi has lost as axe on July 18th, um, and he has won the next game, won the previous game. I'm sorry. So based on that, from the last 16 games, his win rate on axe is 68.8, which is pretty impressive. And The average KDA is over here, the average game duration, death pattern, which is a major weakness apparently, and critical timing patterns. So it tells me that he is pretty strong in short games, which is 60% win rate, and he's weaker when pressured early. His blink dagger timing, which is an item that is a core item for um, this hero named Axe, is likely 10 to 13 minutes. It's basing it on standard Axe patterns and not his patterns. Um, and his team fight dependency, all of these issues. And it's telling me how in each phase I can counter Axe as Drew plus Vengeful Spirit, and um, also it also keeps in mind the support in lane, and it's a pretty comprehensive strategy that's being presented here. However, this is only for things that you should keep in mind, right? Dota is a very complex game, and you need to be making decisions in split seconds, and each decision that you make adds to the overall result of the game. Um, every single click adds to the result of the game. So um all of the recommendations that are presented here are once again, it should be taken with a pinch of salt. It should be um, all of these are very situation or scenario based, and it needs to be you can only learn the game very intuitively by playing it, and just having this application would not really it would definitely add to your success as a Dota 2 player, as in people who use the tool versus the people who do not would certainly see a huge difference. um, but uh, if I was to use the tool, I would see a lower return than a very new player using the tool and getting a lot of insight from it. So that's one thing that I want to tell you guys. It's a super complex game, and if you're new to the game and you're using the tool, it's going to be super helpful. And also, if you're uh, an experienced player of the game, you can use it to enhance your strategy, and it would surely help. I think this tool in specific, I've constructed it in a way that it is pretty complex. It has multiple layers. It can find the best thing for you to do at certain points of time. Um, so give it a try. Let me know how I can improve it. And if you can, and if you're interested to, you can contribute. You can fork the repository. You can add a lot of code, any amount of code that you want, and you can open a pull request. I can go through your forked repository. I can find out if it really adds, and I would really welcome some amount of open source contribution for this tool. uh, since Dota 2 is uh, being played by almost 200k users every day on Steam. And fun fact, right? OpenAI, uh, OpenAI's initial offering, one of their initial experiments and offerings was was a team of 5 agents, which took the role of 5 Dota 2 heroes, um, in order to beat a professional Dota 2 team, and it made the news. I think I can just Google OpenAI Dota, uh, and it would give me this OpenAI 5, which was developed in 2017, and it beat a team of 5 professional Dota 2 players in 2019. Um, and this was groundbreaking because uh, beating someone in chess is pretty simple. Chess has been solved. Uh, Stockfish gives you very optimized recommendations for every move, and it can pretty certainly beat any chess player. Give it Magnus Carlsen, give it anyone, right? It can definitely beat them. And Dota 2 is a game that is even more complex than chess. It requires split second decisions. So beating uh, a team of professional Dota 2 players was a huge deal because this was the first instance of OpenAI using reinforcement learning for training agents and having them coordinate in such a way to um, win the game. So uh, yeah, so that was just a fun fact. You guys can have a look at how a Dota game, for the guys who haven't really played Dota, you guys can have a look at how a typical game is usually played, and choose to play it or not. That's left to you. It takes up a lot of time. One game of Dota is like 1 hour of time, uh, but it's very rewarding. It um, occupies it is an escape for you don't ever think about something other than Dota while you're playing Dota because it's that intensive. So that's one thing that gives me satisfaction too. It's like a complete escape for 1 hour. And yeah, I'm thinking about uh, incorporating playing Dota back into my routine, maybe um a couple of hours on one of the days of the weekend. Um, but let's see how that goes. Not anytime soon. Um Maybe in the near future though. And I let me see if I can stream it on Twitch or something for you guys to see as well. Um, so that's about it. Hope you guys had fun listening to this video and watching it. And uh, um, yeah, thank you for listening. Um, Let me know what you guys would like to see. Um, I can try to develop something that follows along the same lines. Uh, this was again inspired by what I had done in the past week. I went out to a gaming cafe to spend maybe about 4 hours playing Dota. So uh, I want to abstain from Dota at the moment because it takes a lot of my time. But I want to go back to it once the dust has settled in my personal life. So, a couple of hours on one of the days of the weekend, maybe. So, have fun, have a great um, evening to you guys. See you.